Why are we so tired? A look at modern fatigue. In a world where technology has replaced much of our physical labor and convenience is at our fingertips, why do we still feel so exhausted? To explore this, let's take a step back in time, imagining the daily life of our distant ancestor, Johnny Caveman, then trace his evolution into modern-day Johnny, whose fatigue stems from a very different set of challenges. This article will guide you through the journey from ancient simplicity to modern complexity, breaking down the science behind our constant weariness. Life in the cave. Johnny Caveman's routine. Picture Johnny Caveman sitting by his campfire, deciding whether to eat the mushrooms he found or collect berries for his next meal. His decisions are limited and straightforward, governed by the primal need to survive. He's not thinking about emails, appointments, or what to wear tomorrow. His prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, isn't overworked. There's not much stress in Johnny's life, at least in terms of decisions. His tasks are clear: find food, stay safe, socialize with his band of humans. His brain is relaxed, and his choices are few. Johnny's life is repetitive but simple, while his existence is physically demanding. Hunting, gathering, and surviving, his mental workload is light. His brain isn't buzzing with the constant barrage of decisions that we face today. Johnny meets the 20th century. A new set of challenges. Fast forward thousands of years, and Johnny is now living in the 20th century. The Industrial Revolution has swept across the world, and Johnny spends his day in a factory, repeating tasks. While the physical demand has decreased slightly, machines do much of the heavy lifting. Johnny is faced with more decisions than before. What to wear to work? What to eat for breakfast? The choices are more frequent, but they're still not overwhelming. The prefrontal cortex, that decision-making part of his brain, is working harder, but it's not maxed out. Johnny's life is structured and routine. He knows what to expect day in and day out. He might be making more decisions than his caveman counterpart, but he's not bombarded with the complexities of modern life just yet. The modern Johnny decision overload in 2024. Now let's transport Johnny to the year 2024. He wakes up, and before he's even out of bed, his mind is already buzzing with questions. Did I get enough sleep? Where's my phone? Is my kid's concert today or tomorrow? From choosing what to wear, deciding what to eat for lunch, to remembering to file that expense report, Johnny's prefrontal cortex is on overdrive. By 8:30 a.m., he's already made dozens of decisions, more than his caveman and industrial-age versions combined. One estimate suggests that modern humans make about 35,000 decisions every day, with more than 200 related to food alone. Johnny is facing decision fatigue, a phenomenon where the sheer number of choices we make starts to weigh us down. His brain feels clogged, his energy drained, and it's not even noon yet. The science behind decision fatigue. So, what's happening in Johnny's brain? Every decision he makes sends an electronic pulse through his neurons, the brain's communication pathways. These signals need glutamate, a neurotransmitter that helps transmit messages between neurons. But here's the problem. With every decision, glutamate builds up, eventually clogging the system and making decisions harder. This buildup of glutamate is like trash piling up in a city. The more decisions Johnny makes, the more trash accumulates, slowing down the brain's ability to function smoothly. As the brain gets more fatigued, Johnny feels more tired, even if he hasn't done any physical work. This new research from the Paris Brain Institute shows that decision fatigue is very real. It's not just the number of decisions that matter, but also the complexity and stakes attached to them. Modern humans, unlike Johnny Caveman, face a world of abstract, high-stakes decisions, and our brains are struggling to keep up. Why modern life is more fatiguing than ever? It seems counterintuitive. Johnny Caveman hunted for his food and fought off predators. Shouldn't we be less tired now that we have washing machines, microwaves, and dishwashers? In reality, The mental toll of modern life is greater than the physical toll of caveman life. Johnny's brain, despite all these conveniences, is working much harder than ever before. In today's world, Johnny isn't running from tigers, but he is constantly making complex decisions. Should he invest in a new job? Upgrade his phone? Decide between 50 different streaming options? It's exhausting because our brains are wired for survival in a much simpler world, not for navigating the complexities of modern life. How our brains haven't caught up. The evolutionary mismatch. The concept of evolutionary mismatch explains why our brains aren't equipped to handle the barrage of decisions we face today. Johnny's brain is essentially the same as that of his caveman ancestor, designed for basic survival, not for managing calendars, emails, and endless options. Our environment has evolved rapidly, but our brains have not. This mismatch means that we are using the same mental hardware from thousands of years ago to cope with a world of information overload, constant choices, and societal pressures. We're not built for this, and it's no wonder we're so tired. Glutamate buildup. A roadblock for the brain. As Johnny makes more decisions, glutamate accumulates. This chemical buildup causes decision-making to slow down and become more difficult. Think of it like traffic on a highway. At first, everything moves smoothly. But as more cars, decisions, pile up, traffic slows to a crawl. Eventually, it comes to a halt, leaving Johnny feeling mentally exhausted by midday. Even though Johnny hasn't physically exerted himself, his brain feels tired. He's drowning in a sea of glutamate, which is why he feels drained after a morning of making decisions, even without lifting a finger. Adenosine. The brain's signal to rest. Another key player in this battle is adenosine, a chemical that builds up in the brain throughout the day, signaling when it's time to rest. Adenosine makes us feel sleepy, but our modern lifestyle often interferes with this process. Enter caffeine, the most popular drug in the world. Caffeine blocks adenosine, allowing Johnny to stay alert and focused even when his brain is telling him it's time to rest. But caffeine only postpones the inevitable. When it wears off, the adenosine rushes in, causing the dreaded afternoon crash. Johnny's brain, flooded with adenosine, suddenly demands rest, and he's left feeling even more tired than before, battling modern fatigue solutions for the daytime. Johnny's solution to decision fatigue might be simple. Reduce the number of choices he makes each day. By planning meals for the week or picking out clothes in advance, he can minimize the decisions he has to make. It's why people like Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg wore the same outfit every day, to free up mental space for more important decisions. Another trick Johnny might try is the coffee nap. By drinking a cup of coffee before taking a short 15-minute nap, he can clear out adenosine from his system and wake up feeling more refreshed. This technique combines the benefits of rest and caffeine to help combat decision fatigue. Nighttime fatigue. Why sleep matters. But decision fatigue isn't the only reason Johnny feels tired. Sleep plays a huge role in how refreshed we feel, and modern life often interferes with our natural sleep patterns. In Johnny Caveman's time, humans evolved to sleep in shifts. Some stayed awake to guard the camp while others slept. Today, we have different chronotypes, biological preferences for when we sleep, but society expects us all to follow the same schedule. If Johnny is a night owl but has to wake up early for work, he's already at a disadvantage. His body is out of sync with his natural sleep cycle, leaving him tired throughout the day. The importance of a good night's sleep. We often hear about the importance of getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but not all sleep is created equal. What we do in the hours leading up to bedtime can drastically affect the quality of our rest. Late night screen time, caffeine, and stress can all disrupt the release of melatonin, the hormone that signals to our brains that it's time to sleep. When Johnny stays up late working or watching Netflix, his brain is exposed to blue light, tricking it into thinking it's still daytime. As a result, his body doesn't release enough melatonin, making it harder to fall asleep. The next day, Johnny wakes up feeling groggy, starting the cycle of fatigue all over again. What can we do about fatigue? In the end, the key to battling modern fatigue lies in understanding the root causes. By limiting the number of decisions we make each day, aligning our sleep with our chronotypes, and being mindful of how we use caffeine, we can start to feel less tired. Here's a summary of the main takeaways. Decision fatigue is real. Reducing daily decisions can help alleviate mental exhaustion. Adenosine and caffeine. Be strategic with your caffeine intake to avoid afternoon crashes. Chronotypes matter. Align your sleep schedule with your natural rhythms for better rest. Quality sleep. Avoid screens and late-night caffeine to help your brain wind down. The world may have evolved, but our brains haven't. Understanding how modern life affects our energy can help us reclaim our vitality and overcome the relentless exhaustion that seems to plague us all. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more informative videos.